What is up? It is, Great Fairy Wars, in fact, that's what's up. Lunatic scoring, and with me I have, kind of a legend of this game. Introduce yourself. Okay, he's AFK. Anyways, so Great Fairy Wars, there's lots of, it's a pretty special game, because it is
I'm
us...
back.
Right.
Only slightly AFK for the start of the stream, but that's cool. I'm indeed the retired old man waking up from his nap right now, just in time.
Very cool.
And I'm here to
cool.
commentate the new kids actually playing the game.
Hell yeah. So, GFW, it's a special game because it is a sub-game, indeed. It's special because you freeze bullets, and that's the main sort of score in this game, right? It has to do with sheer nose power, and in order to showcase this mechanic for all of its worth, we have two very talented players. We have playing for Team Aya, we have Dagoth. He's been around for a long-ass time himself. Has really impressive scores all around, and playing for Team Hotate we have gyou, or gyou, or gyoch, or
Gyou
a lot, yeah, a lot of names like that. He is he has also done a lot and been around for a while. So what exactly are we watching here? Well, it's Touhou World Cup, of course. It's our annual competition, and it's about the Touhou project shoot 'em ups. Today we have two contestants, and they are competing in Lunatic scoring, but there are lots of other categories as well. And if you want more details about the tournament, past results, results so far, the schedule, a TWC score calculator, visit the website right there. So we have 75 minutes of reset time today, and that's basically the window of time that they can start new credits in. And what they are indeed competing for is a TWC score, which, as we all know, A2 is the strongest route, and the other routes are a bit behind that one. So we try to balance it out so that they can still play whatever route that they want and, be competitive.
75 minutes should be plenty of time for a run, since a run lasts about 27 to 28 minutes, depending on this game for score.
For sure. So this is the system. What can we say about it?
Yeah, I actually didn't check the slides beforehand, but perhaps I should have, because this is a pretty dense slide. But these screenshots here are very helpful to illustrate that indeed you can freeze bullets. You can freeze bullets by holding the Z button down for about a second, then releasing it, and that spawns this ice block on Cerno, which when it's touched by bullets, the bullets will freeze. And then they will become a new ice block that will spread the freeze to more and more bullets, and it's very cool, absolutely icy.
Yeah, very cold indeed. So what do we see here?
This is a new graph. I don't think this cool graph was here in the previous year, but yeah, this depicts how much perfect freeze or bomb percentage you gain for a given freeze size. When you're at 30% ice area or above for a freeze, you gain plus 20% PF, but below that, it immediately slumps down to 10%, 29%, and then sinks all the way down to 0 gradually. And apparently there's also a bump in the curve. It's not entirely linear from 0 to 29%. I actually didn't know that, but the more you know, now we have learned this as well. The important mark is the 30% mark usually. Anything below that is various degrees of not very much PF.
Oh yeah. So something else that is important is actually the clear bonus, and the main contributor to that is motivation, which is basically your lives. Dying reduces motivation by 100%, refills your bomb stock though, a little bit. Yeah, how does one gain PF exact? No, motivation. I'm not sure I can interpret these slides very well.
Yep, this is a bit of a confusing slide. The way you gain motivation is by dealing damage to enemies either with your shot or with your freeze. And the damage that your freeze can deal to a boss is capped at a certain amount, and at that capped amount, whether it's on stage enemies or bosses, you gain 9% motivation. And the motivation you gain is directly proportional to the amount of damage your freeze deals, so in theory, if you do all your damage to a boss with ice, you will gain roughly the same amount of motivation every time, whether it was through fully damaging freeze or partially damaging. So motivation gain is one of the most consistent things in this game on average.
Definitely.
You will get the motivation your route is supposed to get more often than not, with a couple of random exceptions that we'll get there when we see them.
Definitely. And of course, here's the usual TWC score graph, with A2 being way over there to the right, because it is the strongest one overall for score, so it has the flattest graph. C2 has a rather steep graph, but it takes a while to get going, and that really only has to do with that it becomes much harder, like at the higher echelons of score, than A1 does.
And the routes we're going to be seeing today were supposed to be B1 and A1, which have extremely similarly shaped graphs, just slightly higher up for A1.
Alright, so Dagoth, he's been around for a while, as I said, but in this game particularly, he specialized in A1 pretty early on. Got record quite quickly, I believe, in 2021 when he prepared for that match. He also has Ricky in C1 with 109 million. But what he was initially known for was actually POV. He is very good at PvP, and he held world record with Yomu for a little while as well. And finally, he has a few SA elements.
Yep, he's quite a prolific POV player, I believe, and he's also commentating POV scoring later in this Touhou World Cup, if I saw the schedule right. Spoilers.
Yep. And on the other hand, we have Gyou. He has also been around for a while. He has strong scores in pretty much every game. Well, decently strong scores at least. He has elements in 9 games, and he's also competed in TWC in this category for quite a few years.
His personal best he has in B1, the category he's going to play, by the way, it's from this morning, just from a couple of hours ago, fresh off the oven. His first run with his current score routes, where he has actually finished with maximum motivation. This is a real struggle in any category, but especially in B1, where the end game is very, very little, and the early game is also little, and the mid game. It might be a bad choice for TWC, I'm not gonna lie, it might not be the optimal choice for most people, but he's brave enough to do it.
Yeah, it is a gamble, but it could be a gamble that pays off.
He's even got his splits here on his stream on the right.
Yeah,
on the black
drawn
screen.
in MS Paint, written in MS Paint.
And he's passed these splits by quite a margin regularly on his stream, so they might be slightly lowballed for his current capacities.
Yeah. The hiragana actually says goal paces for the bosses. So I don't know if these are his actual splits, but rather just you see that number and it's a good pace. It's more towards that.
These are very conservative pace estimates. Very conservative. If he doesn't game over, he probably exceeds these estimates quite easily.
Yeah. What would you say these paces would eventually give you as a final score?
Well, the final split here is at the start of the final boss fight, and the final boss fight unfortunately has several millions of swing depending on execution and strategies, so just by looking at the splits, there's still the biggest score variance part of the route in the game as a whole to be played, so we can only give a rough number, but yeah, these splits could give you a 103 or 104 perhaps, but as we know, his PB is better than this, so the splits are definitely rather lowballed.
Indeed. Both players have started. As predicted, Gyou picking B1, and Dagoth going for one of the A routes.
Yeah, the B stage 1 stage section is pretty interesting with these partially random jelly spreads. There's a fair bit of variance on how these freezes might go. Okay, that wasn't the luckiest. You see how it didn't catch all the bullets at the bottom right, but it was still okay. There's a fair bit of optimization and randomness here.
So,
we also see how you can graze the charge your ice here below gyou right here.
Yeah. He's
charging it with that fat grace box no Scott.
Yep. Also doing his best to spawn grace to charge it as quickly as possible because he wants as many freezes as possible.
Exactly. This second non-spell on gyou is very scary. Meanwhile, on Dagoth's stream, he's grazing these rings that Lily White spawns right before they are about to hurt Sono to get those final few grace points for that bigger ice. Oh. Let's forget about Dagoth. Back to Gyou. He got past Lily White.
He got past Diosa even.
Yep. There's going to be a suicide here, the first suicide in B1 if he gets it on the next pair of fairies, I believe. And we can talk about suicides when he does it, if he does it. Yep. Oh, he tried the suicide, but he wasn't able to hit the jelly bean. That's why he's pausing and resetting. Because he wasn't able to kill himself. That is very unfortunate for Gyou.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Anyway, what the suicide would do if it had succeeded is it would cancel out some of the damage that the freeze would deal to the large fairies and let him do another big freeze. But because he missed the suicide, the fairies would have died, and that is very unfortunate.
Yeah, classic Touhou problems is that you never die when you actually want to.
Yeah, thankfully at least jelly beans in this game have some of the largest bullet hitboxes in the entire game, so if you're going to kill yourself on something, they are a solid choice, but even they can just dodge you if they want to.
Oh yeah. This game came out after DS, which also means that the hitboxes were actually rebalanced for this game.
Yeah, there were circular hitboxes in this game, were they not?
Yeah. They
I'm
started
not a
being
super expert on how the hitboxes work in other Touhou games, but yeah, there's also other special things about the bullets in this game, which is that there's not as many gimmick bullet types, let's say. They've been limited to not such a large variety, presumably for the ice mechanics, so that it would be predictable how different bullet types interact with the ice, not having 50 different ones.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, they got about to get some mini freezes before he bombs this boss. And if you kill a boss or an enemy with a freeze, you gain frozen items, which are automatically collected. They are a consistent source of score, which we will not pay attention to since they kind of just happen alongside the other freeze scoring you do.
Yeah, it's a nice addition though.
There's also regular point items, the POC of Shame, or rather the point items of Shame, which are not frozen items that you might collect with a POC of Shame. like those point items there, you can't POC them because otherwise you would miss this next freeze, but there were just a couple of them, which might also be a part of the round.
Frozen items are also worth more than normal ones.
I believe there were 4 times as much, perhaps? It's hard to say.
Right. So
Raw first
Dagoth
freeze from
on-
Dagoth here, getting the 29%.
Yeah. Dagoth on Luna Child right now.
Yeah, this is a very interesting pattern, since these bullets kind of swing towards you, and if you can graze this wave of bullets that's swinging towards you from the top, that will charge your eyes without having to shoot the boss too much. The boss HP is very limited on this pattern, so you want to deal some damage with freezes, but if you deal too much, she can die prematurely, or force you to avoid damage very aggressively, which can introduce a lot of difficulty. But right now she's been very high, so the damage has been very modest on Luna. This is very safe.
Yeah. You also see him actually using his shot to charge up his freezing, and he's actually doing that by very aggressively directing his shots away from the center of the boss, so that basically
Right.
only one stream hits it.
Yeah, that's called side shooting, and is how you want to charge your eyes if you want to minimize the amount of damage you deal, which most of the time when milking bosses you do. You just milk everything to timeout in this game with very few exceptions. This second non-spell is brutal. We'll see if Luna behaves. Okay, Luna's behaving, she's been pretty high on the screen. Dagoth is going for the dangerous milk, but if the boss is high, he can probably get away with it. Good freezes so far, he's gonna go for one more. This is gonna be a dangerous charge. He's also holding Z button while doing these grazes to charge, which passively increases your ice regeneration rate. This is so dangerous, man. He could have already killed it, but he's going for one last freeze, and he almost got it. If he just released it there, it would have been a good one, but that's what you sometimes get when you get greedy. You get punished.
Yeah.
Anyway, what he was doing, the ice charges, you get it by holding down Z after you've primed your ice, and then you just keep holding Z. It makes a kind of a swirling sound effect, and your ice regeneration rate increases passively. Which on a non like that, where you don't have so many bullets you graze, that's one of your better ways to get extra ice power.
Looks like Gyou reset again.
Yeah, stage 1 both the stage section and especially the boss are rough in B1. Significantly more rough than A1, unfortunately.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Dagoth indeed commits to stage A1 too. I believe it's the stage 2 version of Misty Lake, the same stage that gyou is on stage 1, since the 3 stages are 3 locations associated with the Touhou universe, and the different stage numbers represent the different locations at different days of time, with stage 1 taking place at daytime, stage 2 in the evening, and then stage 3 at night. So there's going to be gyou on both streams right now. Enjoy this moment while it lasts. It might not happen again.
It actually gives a good comparison between the two.
Yeah, they have very similar patterns, these two gyou.
Yeah.
But generally the stage 2 version it scores higher, but it's also a bit easier. A bit less random.
Yeah, a bit less random, a bit slower even, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. This known that gyou's now on, you see how dangerous these fast bullets that randomly shoot you are. There's nothing like that you gotta do on the A1 version here. We see Dagoth using the suicides to cancel the damage of this full damage in freeze. And doing it twice cancels amount 1 full freeze's worth of damage. So he gets 1 more extra 30% freeze out of this. So he can use an extra PF later for a score bomb. This time gyou got the suicide. He got the suicide. He made it past the first suicide of B1. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Let's fucking go. The rest of the stage he should have pretty good odds of getting past. Until the boss. Once the boss starts, then he'll reach it again. Do not be worried. We're not out of the woods yet. Here comes Sunny. He's bringing home the milk. Seems like he's preparing mentally for this horrible boss fight.
Oh yeah.
This boss has been called the hardest stage 1 boss in Touhou in scoring, and I would... Well, I don't know any other games, but I can tell you, this boss is a
dies
menace.
immediately.
Well, we did not get to see the full extent of the menace, but it gets worse.
Oh god.
Meanwhile, Dagoth is approaching the stage 2 boss Star Sapphire. Seems like so far he's taken no unintentional deaths, which in A1 is very important, as the routes vary a lot in what kind of suicides you can use, what kind of bombs you can use. In A1 you have excellent suicide opportunities throughout the whole route, and you can use all the extra motivation you get for score gains if you don't die. In B1 there's a lot less great suicide opportunities, and even several deaths can have not that much impact on your perfect free scoring opportunity. Depending on where they are, of course. Depends a lot on context, but generally dying in A1 is nearly always not good for the score. Dagoth with the rinse, he's doing well right now.
I remember an old chum VOD where he or I don't know if it was him or someone else, but he did commentate one of his runs, and like he said that in certain routes, at least in like A2 I think it was years ago. The details escape me, but he did say that there are like safety lives in a way in this game, just because you gain so much motivation.
Right, it depends on how you want to route your suicide. You can absolutely have spare lives into the final boss, into the final patterns if you route for it.
Right.
I believe gyou usually has safety lives in the end game, no matter what category he plays. He prefers not to spend them all and assume that he's going to no miss the end game. He's not a dangerous liver in that aspect. He takes his risks elsewhere. He's definitely not risk averse, but in specifically his motivation stock, he is a little bit risk averse. Unfortunate death there on the double cut on Dagoth's stream. These non-2 rins are very fast. And sometimes what looks like an opening actually turns out to have a bullet in it, so you need to reset.
Yeah, the variable...
That was a triple cut with the final sideways cut through the third wave. That was amazing. You can do that for a micro optimization in some positions.
Ooh. Yeah,
Solid bombs from Dagoth.
The variable density in these rings always throw me off.
Yeah, these are brutal, and this freeze wasn't ideal, so leftovers were left over. So, quite literally. And they got him. Now the second spell card. You can do an ice grace here, diving into the ice, on the edge of the ice, kind of surfing it. We call this an ice grace. You're not allowed to gain ice by shooting while your ice is still in the air, but you are allowed to grace. And if you grace on the edge of your ice by being super swag, you gain infinite style points. And in this case also some extra freezes. And if you do it right, also some safety, since if you grace faster, you can use the next ice faster, which means this very dangerous three-way pattern, you don't have to dodge it for as long. Amazing from Dagoth, he nailed this one.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, Sunny Milk. Right when we start talking about Sunny Milk,
yeah.
he goes and kills Dagoth. I mean, kills Gil. Every single time. Maybe we should not speak her name. Maybe it's a bad omen. The fairy that shall not be named. He wasn't happy. He was not happy with being beaten down. He's back to the start.
To be fair, he still has plenty of time.
Yeah, but
solid hour.
There's plenty of time. Only 15 minutes spent on stage 1. It could be worse. It could be 70 minutes spent in stage 1. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
meanwhile, this final spell on Dagoth's stream, it repeats the same pattern of fireballs that leave these star trails every cycle, so once you've locked in and identified how you do this, you just repeat the same thing. And looks like he got through. And now it's the nighttime, stage 3 for Dagoth. Can't remember which location in the game this actually is. It's not Misty Lake and it's not the Forest of Magic. What's the third location? Did TSG die from the call? He might have died from the call.
No,
no, you're alive.
I'm still here. I just don't know the answer.
Yeah, there is a third location which is not the Forest of Magic or the Misty Lake. Oh, Sprint Path! Chat to the rescue. Thank you, Chatter. It's the Sprint Path. That's the third location. That is where Dagoth is now at night. You can tell it's the Sprint Path from the kind of dark-looking flowers in the background. Very flowery, very springy. And now he's gone into the Sunny Milk mid-boss. This non-spell can kind of troll you with these yellow lasers, which are first introduced here. When they touch your eyes goes boom and explodes into small yellow bullets, which are nearly the same color as the eyes, which can really make them rather hard to see. You're also spending some lives here, if you have any, for extra ices. Here we see the yellow lasers and how they, if you're unlucky, those yellow bullets can spawn inches away from you and be nearly invisible. Thankfully they haven't done that yet. Oh, that was a very dangerous Grace attempting to PB Grace her when he was that late Dagoth, but he managed to back out from the abortive Grace attempt before it would have killed him. Good adaptation to being slightly late to Grace. This is one of the few spells you don't milk this mid-boss spell on Sunny. He's going for the speed kill. And he didn't get the frozen items, unfortunately. The damage wasn't quite enough. Meanwhile, back to Sunny, but this time on Gyou. Can he get past the first non-spell? This is a very difficult one, if you go for a good milk. And he's going for the good milk. The interval between the waves that Sunny shoots gets shorter during the spell, so it only gets harder as it progresses. The time you have to charge in between your freezes gets shorter and shorter. He got to the first spell.
He got past that non.
His first spell is the only easy part of Sunny, relatively speaking. You can milk this until timeout for some small freezes, and it's usually not super dangerous. Don't want to curse him too hard though.
Yeah, this one actually looks relatively chill for Gyou.
Yeah, this is the only part of the Sunny fight that's not going to kill you repeatedly. After this we get to the second non-spell, which has a very special, very fun property that no other non-spell or spell in the game has. Building up suspense for it as he's going to enter it. Pay attention to Sunny's position as he transitions to this non-spell. Notice how Sunny is just parked where she is, pooping out yellow bullets. That's right, this non-spell does not reset the boss's position at the start to a standard location. She instead keeps the position she was in randomly at the end of the first spell. So if she was low at the end of the first spell, well, you're shit out of luck.
Yep.
If she was high at the end of the first spell, you're going to have both an easier time and a better milk. So this is one of the fun parts of B1 as a round. He got pretty good luck with Sunny's position this time. This looks playable.
Yeah.
You can also hug the center bottom, and then it is not very playable. You can see it is very difficult already when she's positioned well, but she can also be 3 inches lower, and then it would be really not fun. And then there's the final spell, which is the hardest of them all. The yellow bullets come from the top in kind of random bursts, and you want to freeze them. But the problem here is the boss has such limited HP that each time your ice touches the boss,
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah,
These waves.
You can see the boss is already almost dead from just the damage she's done so far. And you want to milk this until timeout, but there's still 20 seconds left, so what are you gonna do if the boss is low? Well, you're gonna get fucked is what. You're gonna get fucked is what. And he did get fucked. And the boss also moves randomly at a very short interval, so she can kind of just jump into your eyes and take damage. It's a very unfortunate spell. But he got out of stage 1 with a very good score. 14 million exiting stage 1 is excellent. Meanwhile, Dagoth on stage 3, he's on the first spell about to clean it out. These Rin Fairies in stage 2 are really... they are nasty stuff. He got the redirect strat where he kinda used Streamstem across the screen before freezing to get a slightly bigger freeze. Yeah, this is the stage 2 Forest of Magic. This is where gyou is at right now. Not the sprint part, it's not the Misty Lake. Misty Lake is stage 1 in B1. And the sprint part is stage 3. And this stage right here is the Forest of Magic. Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah, this is definitely the Forest of Magic. There's slightly white here. That's the clear sign, it's the Forest of Magic. We've identified the location. Anyway, this mid-boss, Lily White, is... so you can see the fireballs which can't be frozen are quite quick. This is a bit of a nastier mid-boss than the stage 1 Lily White. And it gets worse. Big scoring opportunities here, but also significant danger of just dying.
They got lagging for a bit.
He got a good suicide bullet freeze on those jellies from the side fairy. This is looking excellent. He should be able to get a good milk on Ice Dissolver right here. You'll get into the big milk of Lily White stage 2. You can grace these twins of bullets, but she also kind of drifts very drastically, and that makes the lasers swing, and you can get caught here surprisingly easily, even though this looks like a simple pattern until you die to it 5 times in a row and you realize, oh no, the boss movement is actually difficult to deal with, especially when you try to optimize the freezes. He's playing it pretty safe right now, since the boss has taken damage. And then the final non-spell of Lily White is just a speed kill. You could milk this if you had giant balls, but a player who milks this has not yet existed.
Maybe in 2030.
Possible. You never know.
Maybe one of you in chat will pick up this game, be inspired by this match, and...
Meanwhile, third non-spell on Dagoth's stream, he's spending his lives on this pattern to get extra freezes. Ideally, if he has full resources, he wants to spend 4 lives, but I don't believe he has full resources. Even if he did, he might play it safe and spend a few less to try to win backup lives for the endgame. Yeah, looks like he's playing it conservative. He's not going for the full amount of motivation spend he could be going for. He's a coward. Tie him up. Throw him overboard. We don't want him on this ship. Off the boat with you. But on this spell, he was going to want to freeze these suicide bullets, the jellies from the side fairies, to gain ideally 30%. He missed the 30% on the first one, but he can still go for it on the second one, Luna here. Let's see if he gets it. Luna died at the wrong time. If you kill Luna at just the right time, you can go for a big freeze off the bullets, but she did not cooperate this time. Or rather, it was a skill issue. Let's call it how it is. The side fairies move in a static way, so if you don't freeze them right, it's a skill issue.
Ooh.
But he is getting very cool ice grazes on Sunny's bullets right here. Again, surfing the edge of the ice, grazing the bullets before they are frozen. Very, very cool tech. By doing this technique, you can freeze every cycle here, instead of taking a cycle off to recharge your ice.
Gyou had to reset because he died too much.
That is very unfortunate. But we will get to see him in stage 2 soon again. That was really a great Sunny fight overall that he got in the previous round. 14 million and not dying too many times. If he can get that one more time, I have confidence he can make it. Meanwhile, this fourth non-spell, glowing jellies that Dagoth is on, they kinda start swinging in random directions when the sun is on. And the sun also blocks visibility. It doesn't look so dense until the swings just make random walls and hide the bullets on top of each other, and then things are not looking so good. And you have to just dodge during the hard phase, because your freeze will be smaller if you freeze while the sun is yellow. So you want to dodge the hard part and then freeze during the easy part, during the snow spell. Yeah, that wasn't the optimal bomb timing, but he might have done it for safety because he was kind of in a dangerous spot.
Indeed.
Meanwhile, Fairy Overdrive. This version of Fairy Overdrive that Dagoth is on has static movement. There's also a version with partially aimed, partially random movement in B1. But we are not on that one right now. These ones just move in a diamond kind of shape, repeatedly. And every time they bump on the wall, a wave of green bullets spawns from the top of the screen. And the green bullets get faster as they fall down the screen, so if you're dodging them near the top, it's generally going to be safer. So that's why he's staying high. The density is of course also higher at the top, so you get more grace if you dodge higher up, not only more safety. You can see how he's not waiting for the bullets, he's proactively going to the upper half of the screen to make it through.
I'd say more grace also equals more safety because you can freeze sooner.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to charge the ice here optimally, as you get very little opportunities to shoot and you just have to grace better, as well as use the Z-hold technique to gain the swirling ice charge bonus. But he made it through, he got the cap. He's got resources to finish with multiple automation if he can clear the final spell 3 fairies. This spell it can be risky depending on how much optimization you want to go for, but normally if you perform the route correctly, nothing will go wrong here. You won't have to dodge a single bullet. So far he has executed the plan. You just do two small freezes in between these big fireball transformations.
Would you say that this is 110 pace?
No, it's not 110. No, it's a bit below 110, maybe 108, 109.
Oh, nice dodge.
Oh yeah, he's playing this a little dangerous, and that was not how the route is supposed to go. He forgot the route partially. This is a little bit dodgy, but he should still be fine. He just needs to make sure he doesn't screw up one more time. Yeah, he still had to dodge a bit. This was definitely not exactly according to plan, but he made it and he didn't softlock the game, so he's good to go. However, he did miss out on some frozen items, and he did bring home the 108 here on the first run.
Very strong, very strong.
Beautiful. But it was too safe. Throw it out. Run it back. Give me a 110.
Yeah. He definitely has the ability to get a 110 in this setting.
He's very skilled at A1 and also very solid at survival, so although going for a run with all the motivation spending included is risky, he's absolutely a player capable of going for it. Meanwhile, Gyou has been trapped in stage 1. He's starting to look dire. But he's still got 46 more minutes. But only making it to stage 2 once so far is a little bit grim, because he did not yet get to the most dangerous parts of stage 2, arguably, in the later half of the Stars of Fire boss fight. And then there's still stage 3 afterwards. But if Gyou is the kind of player who sometimes on stream he's stuck in stage 1 for an hour and then he just drops the gourd run. He just struggles to get going sometimes.
Yeah, I think a lot of players have had those kind of sessions.
Yeah, but that's absolutely true, and B1 is a especially nasty game for that, since there's just so much randomness in this stage 1, particularly in the sunny fight, that can screw you over, sometimes in ways beyond your control. Like the boss being very low, entering the second non-spell, and just being parked there for the rest of your life.
Or like for the rest of the credits life.
Exactly, DST. Meanwhile, Dagoth's back on Lily White here. If only stage 2 Lily White were as easy. Well, right as we are about to call it easy, she murders Dagoth in cold blood. I think she wanted to correct us on that. Lily White has had her say here.
Lily White has the final... Lily White has the veto power.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, about to get out of Diose on your side on the right. We get into the big fairy suicide. We'll see if the jellies allow him to die this time. He's going to freeze the second set here, and then he's going to suicide on the third set of large fairies. If the jellies let him. Okay, the jellies let him die. Fantastic. He nailed it.
Fantastic. He got a pretty simple jelly as well. Very nice to see.
Yeah, the jelly was nicely lined up.
And then he dies there.
That is an unfortunate joke. Yeah, I hate to see it.
Yeah. Really sadistic game.
Meanwhile, is Lily White going to let Dagoth through this time, or is she determined to rehabilitate her image as a lethal mid-boss?
What do you mean? She already demonstrated she is lethal.
Yeah, but she could demonstrate it even harder. No, actually she can't. The first non-spell is really the main threat here. Unless you choke, the rest of the fight should be relatively doable. Speaking of chokes, he kind of drove right into those bullets, didn't he? Slightly too high up. Just a little too high up.
Yeah.
A little tiny bit. Back to Diose for Gyou. This first non-spell here is a nice appetizer for the spawn grazing of bullets below the boss. The pattern even seems to be designed for this, to teach the player about this, with how there's this suspiciously sized hole below the boss where just no bullets are spawning.
Oh yeah. It feels like early to mid zone had a lot of those like a lot of his early and mid Danmaku has a lot of those quirks.
Yeah, that was definitely an intentional design to allow grazing, I would hope. But unfortunately, he stopped having mercy, and now we're back at the start.
Oh yeah.
Both players are getting owned by the stage 1 mid-boss. Lily White and Diose have claimed many lives today, way more than anybody else in the game. And the stage fairies, of course, but we can credit most of the kills to Diose and Lily White. They're probably the bosses of the stage fairies, for that matter. We can give them credit for the kills of the servants. That's
Indeed.
how bosses work.
Indeed.
Is Lily White going to let Dagoth through this time and not invite him to park into bullets? So far it's looking good. Yep, he did not go too close for the final grace. He should be out of this one. Okay, he made it. Fantastic. Meanwhile, Diose back on the menu. First non-spell should let him through, but the second one, that's where the trouble starts. Those waves of bullets are just very tricky. The spreads very random, multiple directions, kind of random in what directions they're coming from as well. Very, very nasty stuff. But he made it through. Now he just needs to capture this final non. The bombs he's going to use on it. Or singular bomb, I suppose. Okay, he made it through. Now it's just the jelly suicide and the green fairies. Can he make it through?
Then he has to get past Sunny Milk again.
Yes, well. I thought we weren't supposed to say the name of the devil. We can't give her too much power.
Fuck. I'm sorry.
he nailed the jelly suicide again. The jelly did not escape. Fantastic. And now just the green fairies, please. No chokes today. These green fairies are static. Well, in theory they are static in where they are shooting, and you can position yourself based on cues on the HUD, for example, at the bottom, those little grooves. But there may be some problems here, because that there should not be happening. He may be having a bad day.
Perhaps. It looked like the revenge bullets killed him there, actually.
I'm not sure, yeah. Something definitely didn't go right. It looked like the green ball is free, but you may be right. Either way, it's possible there's either minor chokes, or there might also be some ambiguity in his route in the first place, where maybe his cue or setup for where he positions himself is not fully consistent to the pixel. There may be something where he's kind of winning it, and sometimes it doesn't work, and you don't know why, because it's not polished enough yet to the point where you can identify what exactly is the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah.
But at least we get to see Dagoth again. That's a good part. We get to see these hot point-blank grazes on the first non-spell, the dangerous fast bullets on the second non-spell.
Oh yeah. Please get past.
Oh, that was so
scary,
dangerous,
okay.
man. Yeah, they can just throw these walls at you, and it's hard to see the wall coming before it's already in your face.
Speaking of walls, right there.
Very unfortunate.
I mean, technically not a wall, but a really tight squeeze, which he unfortunately failed.
Unfortunately. Meanwhile, Dagoth is also trying to get back to Lily White. Stage 1 really is the nemesis of both players today.
Oh yeah. Dagoth has a run on the board to that he can fall back on, but it's starting to look a bit dangerous for Gyou.
Yeah, we already gone to about half of the timer, and he has gotten to stage 2 once in this time. This is the risk when you play a B route in TWC, that it is the roughest stage 1 in the game of all the Lunatic categories by far. Well, B2 has the same stage 1, but B1 has arguably the more dangerous late game as well, so it's definitely the least consistent, most lethal category to do live runs of.
Yep.
Back to the Dagoth. Can we get the point-blank grace? Nailed it. It's kind of cool how these freezes can spread into kind of the shape of wings here. It's like Dagoth has very over-shaped wings when you freeze her point-blank.
Yeah, it really does look that way.
There's some other very, very interesting coincidences with freeze shapes in this game like that, which we may see if somebody ever makes it to the stage 1 boss. Let's not jinx it.
I am hopeful. Cautiously
Okay, we got
hopeful.
past the second non-spell for Gyou. Just this one more non-spell here. He survived long enough to get the bomb, that's great. Now he just needs to get the freeze. Wait for that big wave of bullets. Give Dagoth oversized wins. And now it's just the Jelly Suicide and the Green Fairies. How bad could it be? The ice didn't spread to the big fairy. That's game over, since if the big fairy doesn't die, the next wave of big fairies doesn't spawn. It's very important that you kill those first 2 waves of big fairies quickly so that the third wave spawns. That's why they are frozen a bit smaller, a bit quicker. To spawn that third wave you suicide on. If you miss the kill, then you are kinda shit out of luck.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, they got about to get past Lily White with one more bomb.
Yeah, B route is indeed a gamble, and I hope it pays off.
It could absolutely pay off. I would say if he gets to stage 2, it's a 50-50 that he can finish a run. He's actually pretty good at the mid and late game, I feel like. But stage 1 is an infinite trap.
Oh yeah. Stage 1s tend to be an infinite trap, but it seems particularly bad in this game.
Yeah, it's also a longer stage 1 than most, isn't it, since this is only a 3-stage game.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
as a compensation, the stages are a little bit longer. They've got... And of course you milk everything to timeout, which also makes them longer. And there is some freeze law right here on Luna's first non-spell here. If you freeze this one just right, the big ring of jellies that you freeze can kind of make a crescent moon shape around Luna. This is the secret of Luna's spell design. You see how it kind of curves into a crescent moon. Really excellent design from Zan. It may look like just a nonsense pattern where there's no theme, but then you look at the shape of the eyes, and that is the Zan touch right here, the spark of genius that he's known for. Absolutely brilliant. He did not meet his PF target, I suppose. It looked like he did not meet the amount of resources he wanted to have for the first spell. That is very unfortunate. Meanwhile, gyou is back on the suicide jellies. Can he land suicide? Yep, the jelly took him. Very good, very good. Now it's just the green fairies before Sunny Milk. Can we get past them? The green fairies have claimed many alive today. Just one more wave of greens, this is the last one.
And he gets it.
He got to Sunny Milk. We have met the devil herself. For the first time in a long time. Yeah, this first non-spell, the cycle between those big bursts of yellow small bullets she releases, it gets shorter over time on this non-spell. Thankfully, Sunny is staying very high on the screen right now. She's hugging the top, which makes this much easier. This is excellent luck so far. Vertical movement of bosses in this game is just completely random and out of your control, so just gotta get lucky. Right now she's slow. You can see this makes things a tiny bit harder. I think the boss might have taken too much damage from one of those freezes there, or one or two. That might have been why he felt like he had to reset. He might have been out of resources in terms of boss health to complete his round. That is tragic.
Very tragic.
Yeah, that is very difficult to avoid as well, since if the boss does come low and hugs you, you're kind of forced to choose between bad freezes that damage the boss, or bad freezes that basically freeze almost nothing. Both of which result in a tough time in your future. And since Sunny has several spells or non-spells where that is the case, you can absolutely get screwed, I think, more than half the time just by boss movement without much interaction from you. It's a very rough boss. Meanwhile, they got back on the second half of stage 1, about to soon attempt Luna Child's Crescent Moon first non-spell, if he can make it though. Just these final line fairies left to go. There's some cool tech here with these freezes where you do specific movements after you have released the freeze to try and optimize it, as well as specific setup before the freeze. You do that small left to right swing there to try and make the freeze just a little bit better. Very intriguing stuff.
Yochan pausing.
Taking a breather. You know, at the important junction of the start of stage 1.
I think it may have been to adjust this volume or something.
It's possible.
Yeah.
31 minutes left. It's kinda starting to get dire.
Yeah.
For gyou if he can't get a run on the board. Soon he'll have just one run left to go, with a run taking about 27 to 28 minutes to finish from the start. It's gonna have to happen soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Meanwhile, Luna's first non-spell is going great for Dagoth. Not that freeze. The freeze spread to the boss before the ring of yellow stars was released, which shrunk the freeze down to size. But he still got the 30%, so he's fine. He met his PF target. And that's also a factor in this game. The fact that your perfect freeze maxes out at 300% means that you can't just bank your score bombs forever. You have to spend them at some point. You can't just, you know, bank 10 bombs and then use them on the most bombable pattern in the game. That cap of 3 conveniently prevents you from doing that.
It brings a lot more nuance to the routing.
Oh yeah, and this right here, the start of second non-spell, it's got the same property that Sunny's second non-spell does. in that it carries over Luna's initial position from her position at the end of the first spell, which is random. But unlike Sunny's second non-spell, this Luna has random movement after the preset start position from the previous spell, so it's not quite as... You can still have a bad position fixed later, but if you get a bad position once on Sunny's second non-spell, it's bad forever. Bit more forgiven here, thankfully. This last spell of Luna has very interesting optimizations as well, both with the setup before you freeze and how you move after you've frozen to try and make the freeze just spread a little bit more. It's very technical, and it's also highly random because the boss moves randomly, and that affects how the bullets spread, how they are aimed. Sometimes things just work, and sometimes they don't. And right now they are working okay. That was a bit of a tiny last freeze. So sometimes that can happen depending on the boss movement and how the optimization happens to go. Yeah. Meanwhile, we are back on Sunny on gyou's stream. This could be his first run on the board. Is he going to reset or is he going to finish a run? I think previously he would have reset on a death like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he's probably aware that the timer is ticking down and that he really needs to finish a run soon, or he's going to have a lot of pressure on him.
Oh, yeah.
For his only run.
Oh yeah.
This is definitely a rough position in terms of resources.
Yeah, he definitely did resets on deaths like that earlier.
Yeah, I think continuing here is the right choice. You can still get a very playable high-scoring run, even with 1 or 2, maybe even 3 deaths on the first non-spell. This is one of the parts of B1 where the relative lack of good motivation spending spots or suicide spots in the route comes into play. You don't want to die a zillion times, but 1 or 2 deaths on stage 1 that were not intended can be fine in the long term. Although you will have less room for error in the late game as a result.
Yeah, there's that factor as well, and do remember that this game has a really brutal late game as well, B1.
Yeah, the late game in B1 has taken many lives. Very many lives.
Indeed.
Oh no.
Oh,
Sunny's low. She's very low.
Okay, she went up a little bit.
Okay, she jumped to the top of the screen right in time. She was teasing, but she decided to be gentle this time.
Yeah, that was pretty scary for a while there.
Thankfully she jumped back up. We actually get to see a playable version of this non-spell.
Oh,
it is pretty bold to go for a dangerous milk here, though. It's not fully necessary to go for the fully optimal milk, especially in a TW setting, I think, but he's going for it. That was a joke. The freeze didn't reach as far as he thought it would. He didn't back off in time.
Yeah.
That is rough. That means that the timer is now so low that he can only finish 1 run, guaranteed. There's no time to finish a run then start another one. Especially since there's still the ending credits and saving the replay that you gotta do before starting the next run. GWC.
Oh yeah, that's like a pretty silent time waster, so to say.
Yeah, you do have the control through the ending, save your replay, go back to the menu to start a new run. That does add at least like 20 seconds. Which, I mean, it's not that much, but it could make the difference with how late some of the final runs that players end up starting.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, Dagoth is about to arrive at the stage 2 boss Tarsafai if he can get past these final fairies. Yep. And you're actually invulnerable in this game during cutscenes. You can't get sniped during dialogue. This is a good quality of life feature that, unfortunately, not all Touhou games are blessed with. Very good triple cut on this second ring of Star. These are a very tricky pattern. You have to read the holes, you have to micro through them. But that's just the first part of the battle. The second part, and arguably harder to optimize part, is the freeze itself after you've gone through the rings. There's a lot of subtlety to it, depending on the boss's position, as well as how well you executed going through the rings in the first place. Since if you went through them slow, you're gonna have less optimization room for the freeze. Meanwhile, if you are if you have a lot of control in how you're surviving going through the rinse, then you can buy yourself more time to set up your freezes, and Dagoth absolutely killed it. That was a great performance on the rinse.
How meaningful is where Luna Child is placed when she shoots? How meaningful is that for the freezes?
Do you mean Stars of Fire? Yeah, the position of Stars of Fire on the first node spell is also very meaningful. She can be low, she can be to the side, but unlike some of the patterns where some positions are just unplayable, on this first node spell, most positions are quite playable. The bad positions have slightly lower score ceiling, but none of them are just total shutouts where you can't do your scoring strat.
Right.
That's not to say bad luck can't happen, but completely unplayable luck cannot happen on that non. On the second non-spell, however, which is arriving, here bad luck is just game over. He comes down low, you can't make it through in time. Rest in pieces.
Yep.
Or she hugs the wall really hard low, and then you are also screwed. That was rough.
There's a rough death right there. Looked like a wall.
You can also cancel out some of the bad luck on this second non-spell, since you use one bomb on it. You know, the wave that you use a bomb on can be when she's in a bad position, and you can skip the wave that way, but she could go into a bad position twice, and then you don't have a second bomb anymore. So, you know, you only have one skip button in your arsenal for bad luck.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, seems like Sunny sent Gyou back to the start of stage 1. Looking rough, but I believe. Okay, I shouldn't have believed. I'm cursing him. Let's stop believing.
There is no hope.
Meanwhile, back to surfing the ice for Dagoth. There's a bit of randomness in this ice grace here. You can't do it at the same pace every time. Sometimes the freeze spreads faster, sometimes slower, so it's a very tricky balance between safety and danger here. Make sure you're reading the spread of your ice correctly so you don't accidentally run past your ice and get hit, or stay too far away from the edge of your ice and miss out on the grace. Very, very tough, but he nailed it.
I like the extra freeze there on the revenge bullet for the extra damage ticks.
Yeah, that is a fantastic little tech. And that is a motivation optimization subtly as well. Since bosses can have less HP than a full damage freeze would deal, but you can still deal full damage with a freeze and get a full damage freeze's worth of motivation or lives from the last pixel of the boss's health.
Indeed.
And you can also hit them with a freeze while they are in iframes in between spells, which also gives the motivation of a full damage freeze. So that's what that small freeze there is doing. It's giving you that 1/10 of an extra life that you can gain. Yep, Dagoth is on solid pace here. This is solid pace. Although he did take some unintentional deaths on the second non-spell, the pace is still has potential to surpass his first run. Although he might reset if things are looking bad.
Indeed. But let's
Meanwhile,
hope he's able to get another full run and hopefully update.
Would be cool to see another clear, absolutely. Meanwhile, gyou say let Gyou-chan through. We are getting closer and closer to the fateful Fat Fairies. The jelly denial play enthusiasts. The jellies did not deny him the death this time. They let him go. And now it's just those 3 abominable waves of green fairies. They're so green. 7.8 out of 10 too much green, I would say. They've got green costumes, they've got green bullets. They explode into green stuff when they die. I mean, how much green can you get?
Good question.
Will Sunny be gentle? Okay, she didn't go up, she didn't go down. She gave a neutral position, that's good. She still stayed neutral, that's good. Whoa, she doesn't want to move up or down, does she? She likes where she's at. Okay, now she moves a little bit up.
Yeah, she moved a little bit up.
She's definitely giving good RNG right now in terms of her positioning.
Oh yeah.
kind of in a middle position right now. Okay, now she came low. You can see how much harder this gets when she comes down low. It's just so much less time to read the bullets. And of course,
Yeah,
higher
sniped.
density because you're closer. Thankfully, she went back up. This is very playable luck. Yep, they got opted to reset after a death on the mid boss, I believe. This is a good run for Gyou right now. He got past the first non-spell with good luck. We'll see how aggressively he wants to milk the second non-spell. I don't know if he has the balls to go for the dangerous milking anymore, but he might feel like that's his normal route and he's gonna do it automatically anyway. It might not be a decision where you decide to milk it dangerously or not milk it. He might just stick to the plan no matter what. First spell has been nice so far, but is she going to move up at the end to make the second non-spell playable? Okay, she's moving up. One more jump. Okay, this is about the middle position. This is fair. Not the easiest, not the hardest. Okay, he's going for the dangerous milking. This is very bold for a player who's got 19 minutes left on the TWC clock.
Indeed, he is.
Who can only finish one run. I would not advise milking like this on your only run at TWC at home. This is rather risky.
He is really gambling hardcore this match, isn't he?
He's not afraid of some risks. Some risks he strays away from, some he takes head on, and this is one of the ones he enjoys apparently.
Yeah.
Yep, he got a good final freeze there. Oh, he's still going for one more freeze before the bomb. That's insane. That was so dangerous. These freezes that he gets, these freezes are really tiny. You do get a bit of PF out of this, but it is actually really dangerous for not that much gain to milk like that. That was incredible. After a milk like that, surely this is the run.
Yeah, nice micro at the beginning of the spell, by the way.
That was solid. Yeah. Okay, Sunny did not move into that ice. The movement of Sunny really is a problem here, since she jumps so often that she can just jump during your ice, non-interactively dive into your freeze, and you just can't really do much about that other than curse at the screen and reset. But so far it's going well. Unfortunate death, but he can afford one death here. He loses out on the spell cap bonus, but he is still on good pace. That was unfortunate. The boss just did not dodge the ice. Well, the ice was also kind of small. Pretty unfortunate last spell, both with the death, but even before that the luck was rough. But this is definitely the best pace run he's had today in the stage 2. Overall, he had a 14 million start before, but I think it had less lives than this. Yeah, this is definitely solid. You can see on his splits that his split for stage 2 entry is 1300 Japanese units, 13 million. And he went in with 13.9, so his splits are definitely a little bit lowballed.
Yeah, definitely. What if his splits are just there for, okay, if it's below this I'm resetting or something?
I don't know. He's definitely reset runs where the splits could have been above this, and he still had lives to continue, so we don't know. Maybe they're for content.
Perhaps.
They might be for content.
Maybe they're just old splits that he didn't bother replacing.
Yeah, they've been the same on his stream for the last 3 weeks or so, I believe, so that's also possible. It's possible they were realistic before he improved his average scores by a lot. Meanwhile, Dagoth continues to be stuck in stage 1. Very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate indeed. Oh, nice micro there.
We did take an unintentional death in the stage section from Gyou, but it wasn't at the worst possible point. He didn't lose that much from that. But he doesn't have that much room for additional deaths anymore. He can still do the motivation spend he's planning to do on the mid-boss, but the unintentional dying's got to stop from now on, more or less. He does not want to be losing very many more lives. It's about 3 or 4 deaths you can afford to have him B1 depending, before you start feeling really bad. And he's at 3 right now, I believe. Or 2 or 3, I don't know. Somewhere around there. Definitely some of his quota has been spent. Oh, we have Kirby comment in the chat, who's kind of been spying on Gyou-chan's stream, and he tells us that Gyou had a video. He had a sum of best of 109.8 million for a segmented video he made, which is above world record.
That's very unfortunate death right there. Misses on entire freeze.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate. Really depends where you die, how costed in, so that won't cost the freeze, which is pretty bad, but there are even worse places to die, such as on this upcoming boss, Stars of Fire. Let's not jinx it. Incidentally, it's got the very same non-spells that the A1 version of the boss has, that we've already seen a few times on Dagoth's side. So we'll see how Gyou is able to tackle them. Very close to Stars of Fire, it's just these final line fairy waves. Okay, he made it to Stars of Fire, but the motivation is pretty dire. He might have room for one death later in the run, but it's definitely getting close right now. He does not want to die anymore in order to be able to clear with full motivation and still do his remaining motivation spending.
Yeah. Like, you could always tone down the motivation spending, but
yeah, that's going to cost score, and in some cases it's also going to make your route riskier, since you've got this safe route where your motivation spend cancels all the bullets on the screen and lets you do an extra bomb, and then you skip it and suddenly, well, there's no cancel and there's no bomb, so now we have to have an alternate pattern that is more dangerous, that involves more dodging. It can be a vicious cycle where the chokes lead you into patterns that you're not comfortable playing that are also more difficult.
Yeah.
This first spell is very dangerous. This is absolutely savage. The fireballs are random, meanwhile you are being flanked by S-bullets. You want to use several bombs here, and also do freezes in between while not dying, and this is just very lethal. Every time the wave of fireballs arrives, you are butt clenching for sure.
You're at the mercy of... yeah, right there.
That is the butt clench right there. I believe he was waiting to bomb there until the last second, but he got a little too greedy perhaps.
Oh, there was another squeeze.
He's got to get 2 more bombs on this pattern, maybe 3. I don't remember how many times you bombed this, I won't lie. I think you bombed this twice, and then you use 1 bomb on the next non-spell. Yep, he's got 1 more bomb he's gonna use. It's 3 bombs total, isn't it? And then 1 on the next non-spell. Something like that. You do want one bomb on this non-spell. Cancel out 1 bad luck wave in a metagame sense. Since if she does hug low while hugging the wall, then you do want to bomb that wave instead of having to do either a small freeze or a very difficult scoring freeze. But right now the luck is good. Star is staying high, which gives him more space to go through the rinse, and also more space to land a good freeze, more tolerance. The higher she is, the better it is here. He's going to bomb on this wave. I think bombing on this wave is actually a strategic error, because... Now, I guess it's the second to last wave, so if you haven't bombed by the second to last wave, then you might as well bomb there. Yes, he never got a bad position, so it was actually fine to bomb there. It was good RNG overall. Since there never was a wall hack, he never had to bomb. He got the speed kill, fantastic. I think we were on a run. I think we might be on a run. Just a final spell left. This final spell can troll you, but it should usually be somewhat safe. There's mostly this score optimization to work out.
These freezes just make monoliths. That's
they make pretty funny shapes, don't they? The boss movement right now has been pretty awkward, since you want to fire on the boss a lot. Both to charge your eyes and to damage the boss, since it's very difficult to make your freezes deal damage here, so to capture the spell you want to shoot the boss to death, usually. And he's gotten pretty good damage so far, but he'll need to shoot a little bit more still. Since if you do not shoot the boss to death, then you just miss the capture, and that would not be ideal. Very unfortunate. He might have gotten a bit greedy there, trying to go for the ice and the cap. But dying on that final spell should not happen usually. Something definitely didn't go right.
How's his life count looking?
It's looking rough. If he now misses the final stage, he can still clear with max motivation, but I don't believe he can afford to die a single time anymore. Every death is going to cut his max motivation clear opportunities. And every life you're missing, every 100 motivation that you're missing from your final, from your clear score is minus 4 million. So yeah, this is looking rough. Actually, I'm not sure how many he can afford. He might still be able to afford one death, but I forgot the math, I won't lie, but this is definitely very rough. Yeah, I believe you gain up to 800% motivation depending on the final boss. So he probably does not have room for deaths after that previous death. He's gonna get some on the mid boss, but not so much that he's gonna have much deaths left in the tank. And of course he's gotta also not miss the final boss in addition to getting the motivation in the first place. There is some randomness to how much motivation you can get on some of the random movement spells. So it's also possible that you miss max motivation clear by like 20 or 30% depending on execution and luck on specific optimizations. This non-spell is so cool on Luna. You can tick grace these lasers. You know, surfing down with the laser to get more contact time, it's very cool. And then you get these nice round crescent-shaped freezes. This is a lovely non-spell. Luna's also been behaving pretty good, staying away from the ice, not going too low. That was a bit dodgy right there. Definitely butt clench a little bit with those swinging bullets, but he got above them. Then this is just a speed kill, this spell, unless you want to do a crazy milk. But I don't think anybody wants to do a crazy milk on this spell here. The freezes you can get are tiny, and the risk of dying is just off the charts. He got the cap, nice to see.
Anyone in chat who's interested in this game, who feels inspired by this match, you know what your job is. You know what to do.
Thankfully, this game, although Lunatic in this game is very inaccessible, some really nasty wall patterns, the lower difficulties in this game are actually quite playable, as well as the extra stage. I believe Comment has played a lot of normal difficulty, which it has its own challenges and similar freeze difficulties and optimizations, but it doesn't kill you on stage 1 from incredibly fast bullets like Sunny does, for example, in general.
Yeah.
That was a very unfortunate that definitely denies the possibility of a max resource clear. Yeah, and he realized as well that he can't max resource clear anymore, and he evidently wants to, so he's resetting. That's fair.
Yeah, yeah, like that max motivation clear is just so important that it's like missing it is massive. Okay.
Yeah,
a full 4 million points for every life, essentially.
Yeah, it's 40 million total for 1,000 pers of motivation in Lunatic, or 0.04 million for each percent of motivation. Or is it 0.4? I don't know math. But it's a lot for each percent of motivation. Very much.
Yeah.
Much larger than any other score source in the game. If he can't max motivation clear, he has no chance of beating Dagoth's current TWC score, that's for certain. The score loss is simply too big.
For sure. Just the clear bonus in this game is like 40% of your entire score.
Yep, it's 3.1 million as the base score on Lunatic, and then 40 million from 1000% motivation, which is 43.1 total. That's a big number.
Yep. It's a huge number in this context.
Meanwhile, is Dioce's second non-spell going to let gyou through for one more salty run back? He's going to let him pass. Looking good. I'm feeling it.
Indeed,
meanwhile, Dagoth is arriving at Star's second non-spell. We can see if he's going to get as lucky as gyou did previously. Yeah. Or if Star will be a little bit spicy. Unfortunate.
Very unfortunate, yeah.
And now she's coming low down on the screen. As if
Oh,
dying once
dear.
wasn't bad enough, now you get to do it on hard mode for the second cycle. Thankfully she went back up. She's showing mercy. More like
Never
a mercy
mind.
kill. Very rude. Meanwhile, can Gyou get past the green fairies? There's still too much green. Just one more wave, one more wave. Okay, he got the freeze he wanted. Got to the dialogue. He should be. He's definitely locked in now. He got right away past the stage 1 stage section after resetting that run. He's not tilted. He's finally in the zone. It took him an hour, but I think Gyou's in peak form right now, as good as he's gonna get.
Oh yeah, just look at those dodges, even.
Yeah, he's definitely locked in. And Sunny is also locked in. She's doing her best to help. Aside from now, she came kinda low, but she went back up a little. It's looking good. Sunny's not about to throw a wrench in this final epic run. Aside from this low hug, but then she went back up right away. She's been so polite. It's like she learned manners between runs.
Giving pretty
She came
scary
low,
waves,
but
though.
yeah, she came low, but it was at the end where you bomb anyway, which is if you're gonna have her come low, it might as well be when you're iframing and bombing.
Yeah, definitely. A little breather for the first spell. Through the first spell. Yeah. Through the first spell.
We'll see if he still has the balls to go for very dangerous micro milking on the second non-spell. It was insane on the previous run how many he went for.
Yeah.
Taking all the risk for the swag gains.
Okay, moving down a bit.
She's behaving well now, but there's still 2 more jumps possible.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
She
this is
went down
about the
again.
middle position. Yeah, she took the final jump slightly to the right. This is good. I think the ideal position for making this easier is to the side and high.
Dead. He died.
But that gives slightly lower bombs than being in the center, so maybe center and high is best overall. That was unfortunate. He did not want to die twice here. Absolutely didn't want to die twice.
Oh, and he missed the spawn grace.
This is dangerous, this is dangerous.
Yeah,
He's still going
dashed
for the
away
dangerous
to-
milk.
Yeah.
Even after those deaths, he has the balls to keep milking. You could surrender and accept getting a less than optimal milk, but he's in it to win it. Not gonna back down. That might mean he doesn't clear. It might unfortunately mean sometimes that going all in denies you the opportunity for the C in brackets.
Walled as well.
Yeah, that was unfortunate luck with how the bullets were lining up. Yeah, that looked rough. Unfortunate, but 2 minutes left on the timer. It's not over till it's over.
It truly isn't.
But it's going to be the final Sunny Milk on this run, or whichever one he makes the Sunny Milk. It's going to take more than 2 minutes to get there, so there's no takesies backsies anymore. Not on Sunny Milk at least. You're still allowed to ditch Diose. Meanwhile, they got back on the first non-spell of Lunar Child. Looks like he's met his PF target, which is, I think it's 295% entering this first spell, and he made it comfortably. Meanwhile, Diose, 1 minute left on the timer. Very soon the final runs will be locked in.
Indeed. Let's hope no disasters happen.
Dagoth landed his suicide on this first spell. This suicide is also possible to miss. You can just dive at full speed through the cloud of yellow small bullets and survive, come out on the other side, and have to reset for it. It is very funny. But thankfully it has not happened today to Dagoth. Okay, one final reset on Diose. He's allowed that.
Yep.
But at this point the timer is so low that even the next Diose no longer allows a reset. Diose is also locked in. This This is it for all the marbles, if he gets past the early fairies. Just these green fairies, surely he can get to Dagoth. Surely it's not going to be a tragic reset with 0.01 on the timer and then missing the final clock. No, he did not reset at the run time. We are locked in for the final run. We didn't derp it. We are locked in. Dagoth trying to get the optimization on Luna's final. Pretty good freeze. 12.5 entering stage 2. He would want more, but this is absolutely playable. He's got all the resources he needs to execute his route. Meanwhile, can gyou get past the second non-spell of Dagoth? Truly the true final boss of the route today.
Most
but he has made it through with staggering consistency as well. And made some insane dodges. So scary. Spooky. Very spooky there for a wave. But he managed to micro through. Managed to hold out to get the bomb he wanted. Very good. The boss movement does affect your luck in this, your score in this game as well, since if Dagoth moves to the side here, your freeze and bomb is gonna be a bit lower. Can just kind of deny you just a couple of points, not too many. Certainly not something that will make you reset on the final run. That would be tragic. Will the jelly let him die? Yep, the jellies let him die, it's fine. We are about to progress the final run to the green fairies. They've claimed many lives today, but will they claim the final run? That was a little bit dodgy. But he made it. The amount of leftover green bullets you get from the previous wave can vary a little, but I feel like it's not supposed to be quite as many as it was right there. But he made it through, so all is forgiven. At least until Sunny Milk comes in to pass her judgment. Is she going to forgive gyou? It's all down to her right now. Will she allow the final run to pass? She's been pretty low on the screen right now. This is looking rough. Okay, she went back up. That is very good. Oh, she's coming down a bit lower. A bit lower. Please go up. Oh no 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 no! This is a bit dangerous. Okay, back up. Just back up, please. That's fine. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just stay up, okay? Ah, she's going all the way up.
Save there.
All the way up. Fantastic. She's listening. She's hearing our pleas. Now she came a bit low, but we're bombing this final wave anyway, so it's cool.
Damn.
He barely didn't have the 30% to freeze. He thought he would have it, but he was missing just a couple of percent to get the freeze he wanted. He probably released the button at like 28% or something. That's probably what happened there. He might have released the button before he actually had the ice in the bag.
Yeah, that is something that indeed can also happen. Like,
yeah, the game lets you start holding down Z to charge your ice before you have 30%, but if you release it while you're pre-charging and you're not at 30%, then you will have a very bad time, as I believe is what happened to him right there.
Yes.
Just a small mechanical error.
Sometimes you get used to like a timing, right? And then you just let your muscle memory do that specific like timing, so to say, like basically holding down the key for a specific amount of time. But due to variance, sometimes you just miss it. Yeah, when you graze random bullets, sometimes you're going to have a couple percent more, a couple percent less, and he might have just gotten a couple percent less than he thought he would get. Thankfully, he still has lives left to continue the run. He absolutely has lives left in the bag. And he's got a playable position on this second non-spell. He's not going for the super dangerous milk yet. He's definitely playing this a little bit more conservative, I feel like. Well, until now. Seems like he was just waiting to do it at the end of the non-spell. It's the final run.
He's already died once unintentionally, and he's still going for he's still going for all the marbles with the micro freezes. This is insane. He just can't stop himself, can he?
Absolute mad lad.
He's addicted to those tiny little ices.
He really is.
A pretty rough start here. The boss took damage from both of those freezes.
Oh, rough pattern as well.
Okay, those dealt very little damage to the boss, which is good. But yeah, this was rough. It may have been recoverable, but he kind of got trapped there in the center. There are various ways to do this final spell as well. In some patterns, you kind of go up between the freezes to dodge at the top of the screen where it's less dense, and then dive down once you feel safe. But Dagoth plays it, gyou plays it the maximum risk way, where you stay at the bottom the whole time. And if you stay at the bottom the whole time, then you may find yourself having to freeze in a moment where the boss will take damage. Or just having to dodge a lot of bullets, or perhaps both. Definitely the more YOLO way of doing things.
He is he's very explicitly saying what should I do.
Yeah, he took 2 unintentional deaths there, I believe, on stage 1.
Yeah.
Which does allow him to finish the run, but he's gotta stop with the deaths just a little bit. Meanwhile, Dagoth getting closer to the second known spell of Star Sapphire. Bomb Milk in this first spell. Dagoth got his fat Rin Fairies route, very good. Fantastic, he got his stage bombs. Fucking solid. Dagoth approaching the second known spell. A few seconds after this final bomb. Here we go. Can he get past the first wave? He made it past the first wave, that's very good. You can definitely just end up chain feeding here. And you need a lot of decisiveness and trusting in your read for the opening and the freeze to make it through this. And if your confidence is shaken by an early death, and then you just hesitate for a split second, you can end up chain dying or missing your optimizations. So getting off to a good start is very important. And he's locked in. He's finally locked in for the second non-spell Dagoth. I cursed him. We should not praise the players. Maybe we should roast him a little bit more. maybe that would help him get over this wall. Meanwhile, gyou has not taken any more unintentional deaths since the last one. Oh. Well, the instant curse. We keep doing it every single time. Every single time. The death comes the instant we start talking about him.
Yep.
That is definitely unfortunate. He still has a chance to finish the run, but the unintentional dying should stop very soon. There is not much more room for this. Let's hope that the final non-spell of mid-boss Slyly here is going to forgive him.
Yeah.
Really, it's not going to do anything nasty. He can freeze the revenge bullets, and then he just needs to shoot it down or freeze it. You could shoot it down for safety, or you could freeze it and get shot. Oh no. Oh no. You do get frozen items and a freeze for freezing it, but for safety it is possible to kill it by shooting as well, which is a bit less risky. But you know, he would not be gyou if he fled away from risk. Yeah, this is a rough amount of motivation. If you hit 0%, you will die. So if he makes it past the end of the stage, he will not instantly game over on the next death, but he is in a very rough spot in resource.
Most definitely.
Okay, he made it to Star Sapphire on the final run. We're cooking. We are cooking, and is he mentally ready for the rinse? He might be taking a break here to make sure he's got his timings down. There's a variety of ways you can approach trying to make these rinse more consistent. I used to count out loud actually the amount of rinse 1, 2, 3, 4 to time the freeze at a specific specific timing that I decided for the given boss position and circumstance. But I don't know how gyou specifically approaches this. That was an example of a freeze that was... It was slightly too late, so it caught the final rin in it. Which means you can't freeze it separately, which costs 130% freeze. And that freeze there also had the same mistake. It was just a split second too late. So it caught a spawning rin instead of letting it spawn, and that makes your next freeze worse. And the same thing happened here. He's not locked in terms of timing. But he might still be locked in overall, since this is something of an occupational hazard for him in optimizing the first non-spell of Stars of Fire from what I've seen on his stream. The timings just are not fully precise. Can we get past the first spell? He's got the bomb locked in. He's gonna bomb after this next freeze. He's gonna bomb. No, he's gonna freeze several times before he bombs. I actually think doing it like this is risky. I think in theory you want to spread out your bombs evenly. He's going to do all his bombs at the end of the pattern here. But it's my belief you want to spread them out evenly so you get the cancels. So you get the cancels in the middle of the spell instead of doing a big sequence where you have no full screen clears at any point. But, I mean, if he's gonna make it, who are we to criticize him? He made it with his bomb pattern, and I guess we will allow it. He made it past the first wave with a great freeze, great 533, fantastic timing, fantastic positioning. He's gotta go, you could go for a very risky double or triple cut there, but he did not go for it. Okay, he's going to bomb this wave. Yep, he's going to... If you make the boss wallhack on purpose, which he did, the bosses in this game have a 2 in 3 chance of moving towards you and a 1 in 3 chance of moving away from you. And he made the boss more likely to hack the wall on purpose, which I would not advise for doing it, but if you have decided to bomb a wave, you could do it. It's not illegal. He's gotta freeze this final wave. Okay, he got a safety freeze. Now he just needs to not choke the leftovers. Okay, don't choke the leftovers, don't choke the leftovers. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He's gotta get the speed kill here. He got the opening strat very well. He got the opening strat fantastic with the point blank dodges. Oh no, 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 no. He was inches away from that final freeze to finish off the spell card. That is rough.
Yeah.
Absolutely is rough. This is some pretty difficult luck here. He got a very small freeze, which got him trapped. Yeah, this is a problem that can happen on the final spell. If you're freezing 100%, you're always going to get the time and space you need to escape. But he was forced to use a 50% freeze due to being trapped, and that didn't give him enough time to comfortably escape, so he stayed in the middle of the bullets instead and tried to YOLO. But he got punished. Yeah, this is a bit rough on the luck, but also a bit rough on the execution, I believe. I believe getting trapped like that it's possible, but it's possible to also prevent it with some foresight. Yeah, that was very rough. 45% motivation entering the final stage is very rough. It is absolutely brutal. Meanwhile, Dagoth is getting in his suicides on the first non-spell here of the final boss. That was a mistimed freeze getting some of those lasers popping dice, but he made it through. Just got a slightly smaller ice. Fine. Urge getting closer and closer to the mid-boss. You might also be able to see the first spell on Dagoth's stream, which we never commentated yet. There's this cool save spot here, which he might go for.
He did go for it in his first run.
We can watch him go for these freezes on killing the side fairies first. You want to time the freeze right, so that it spreads better, gets you some motivation by damaging the remaining side fairy. And you want to do the freeze when the sun isn't up to make it slightly bigger. There is a safe spot on Sunny's head here that you could enter if you want to. That might have been too small of an opening to go for it. Yeah, he's entering the safe spot. This is a cool little safe spot. That's only a safe spot when the sun is shining. If the sun don't shine, then it don't shine. But yeah, going for it once is... It gives you a bit more bit more ice charge with a bit less damage, since if you're in the safe spot, you don't need to do any shooting to charge your ice. It gives you natural grace. Meanwhile, Gyou is in the pause menu, pondering his life choices. First non-spell, only non-spell of the mid-boss Luna, let's go. He looked pretty solid on this non-spell last time we saw it. Good route for grazing those lasers for the free eyes, drifting down alongside them. Luna is being a little low, but he should be able to work with this. Yeah, this is looking good. Luna is back high. The eyes are lining up. He doesn't have too little HP. It should be fine. Depending on how much damage she takes, you might have to do a couple of smaller freezes, which... that is a very unfortunate choke. That might deny him the max motivation clear already. It's gonna be very dicey.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very dicey right now. With about 800% motivation up for grabs on the final boss, he might still be missing some if he no-misses the rest of the run.
Even if he no-misses.
He's not shooting the non-spell down, he's going for the ice kill for the frozen items. He got it, thankfully. Meanwhile, Dagoth is milking Ice Dissolver. He can charge the ice with grace off of the lasers, which are aimed directly at you, and then just look for the freeze. This is a difficult spell to optimize, but the survival is usually not so difficult. You can see how the ice kind of spreads down like an iceberg. If it catches the bullets well, then you can kind of try to read the bullet pattern and try to fish for that one time in that one position where it's going to spread nicely. Those did not spread nicely, for the record. The knife rinse now on your stream. This is a very interesting pattern, with a lot of small optimizations with how you direct distance. He made it through. It wasn't fully optimal, but it worked. He got the PF he wanted. We'll allow it. This final spell of the stage, then he's gonna freeze the final fairies here. Final two fairies that he freezes before the boss. Yeah, if he no-misses the rest of the run, he could barely get the max motivation clear by the skin of his teeth. Gonna be very close, but it might be possible. Yeah, it's about 800% motivation that you can gain from the final boss. But depending on random boss movement and some other factors, you might get more, you might get less, so... He's definitely going to have to no-miss. No-miss and get a little bit lucky, and we might be cooking. Meanwhile, they got about to go for the Revenge Bullet Jelly Freeze off of Luna Child here on the canopy. He missed the timing. That wasn't ideal, but he got something out of it. Now he's going for the very cool Ice Grazes on Sunny's Rinse. Dashing on the edge of the ice at full speed, unfocused. Absolutely gorgeous strat. When it works. This was not the time it worked. Shame. Okay, back to Gyou-chan. This is dodgy. That felt a little bit dodgy, but seemed like he... This is some of the risks you... Yeah, this is why it felt so dodgy, being high up on the screen and having to go back. You can have to reverse into the lasers, and this can involve danger of piss bullets, as they are called, when the laser that is yellow smashes the ice, piss comes out, and it's not what you want to see behind you, at least. You would rather have the piss, you know, a bit far away from you, not where you're going to sit. You know, you gotta look behind you before you set your ass down. You know, you never know what's in the snow around these parts.
Very unfortunate death. Yeah,
absolutely unfortunate.
Is B1 3 fairies also considered the most brutal?
Yeah, just about. It's definitely got the most dangerous fairy overdrive. It's got some... I mean, all the 3 fairies are brutal, but yeah, this is definitely up there. Very, very difficult non-spells, especially the fourth and third one. And this spell is also quite hard yet.
Yeah.
This is not quite going to be a max motivation clear. At this point, he cannot beat in any universe Dagoth's TWC score on the board. The lack of motivation is just too big of a score loss. But he could give us a solid endgame to show off the run. Starting after this spell, okay. He might still game over and also not get to see the rest of the run. But he can get some more motivation on this non-spell to improve his chances of clearing. Not over till it's over. Fairy Overdrive drifting right into Dagoth's arms. Very dangerous. And the death wave damage killed the side fairies, which means that they died without giving frozen items. That's another optimization point on Fairy Overdrive, which can be very tricky in all the routes. Is you want to kill the side fairies with ice and the main fairy for frozen items. And accidental damage from a death wave or excess shooting can deny you that opportunity. Okay, Dagoth's got his motivation back. He can still clear. Okay. The immediate curse. Immediately when we say he can clear, another choke comes in. Very unfortunate. Maybe we should start calling it fortunate so he's not cursed. He's going for the bombs here. This is just a resource spending pattern usually. Could just be a resource spending pattern, but... Okay, it's just a resource spending pattern. There's nothing weird going on here. There's no curse here. The curse isn't real. Meanwhile, Dagoth about to finish his run. He's about to finish his run, but can he get a better score than his existing score on the board? I don't think he can. I think this is going to score lower. We'll see.
Looking pretty tight, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a 107 to my eye. Yep, that was the final bomb, so it's just a 43 that's going to be coming in the bag right now. Yeah, that's a 107 for Mr. Dagoth. It's a solid run, but a bit below what he already had.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, third non-spell for gyou. He's gonna do this without suicide, which makes it extra difficult due to his 114% motivation. That is a little bit less than you would want at this point. A great run would have 600 or 700% at this point. A playable run 500%. Anything below that, and maybe it's seen better days. This milking is so dangerous if you can't do suicides. There's so many lingering bullets around the screen. 3 fairies are all moving randomly and interacting with each other. It's... this is frightening, very frightening. But he's actually doing an excellent job at this milk without using suicides or bombs. Which is...
Yeah.
If the run was good, you would love to see this, but it's not good.
Yeah.
But at least we get to see him.
He's doing a really good job at surviving it, yeah. Yeah,
that was fantastic. Great grazes, great freezes. I love what I'm seeing. Now we see the canopy spell, break canopy. It's going to first freeze and kill the side fairies, and then he's going to do this crazy thing where he dives next to the boss. The way the bullets spawn in this pattern is they have a dead zone around Cerno, around the size of her grace box or slightly bigger, where the bullets just don't spawn. So you can go into where the wave of bullets spawns and be guaranteed not to have anything to spawn on top of you. Problem.
But then you can get...
yeah, they can still spawn
that.
above you and to the side of you and jump towards you. And yeah, you don't die instantly, but the risk is considerable doing it like this. Although the scoring potential is also high. Yeah, this is a risky way of doing things, which is how gyou likes it. That's the one thing we've learned today. Gyou does like it the risky way.
Yeah, I think he's just kind of trying to show off all the strats
that was
at this
insane,
point.
man.
Yeah, that was a good dodge. Good dodge.
Those kinds of things tend to be why doing it like this is not for the faint of heart. There are safer approaches that are perhaps less scoring, but also less suicidal. But
yeah.
I mean, he made it through. We'll forgive it.
Yep. I think at this point he's just trying to show off all the strats that he can.
Yeah, and he definitely showed off the way he does that strat. That's for sure. we got our money's worth there. This fourth non-spell is very tricky with... There's just multiple cycles of these fireballs and yellow bullets on the screen, and it can really become overwhelming to track it. But gyou's actually pretty good at dodging this. I think he's one of the best when it comes to handling this pattern. Like that restream there, that looked dodgy, but he knew he could get away with it. He's got the smell. He just knows. This is really scary. And he couldn't stream the bottom of the screen, he had to go up, and he realized it in time to be able to correct course. Very, very high skill play here on this non-spell. He's showing deep expertise of how to handle this pattern in various situations. And now we see the randomness of Fairy Overdrive in this round. That they usually aim at you, but they also have a random factor to their movement, which can make them swing in very unpleasant directions. You don't exactly know what you're getting. They can also go off the screen, as you see here, which is not very likely, but yeah, the walls in this pattern can be more of a suggestion for the fairies. Usually the walls are solid, but today they were not solid. I think I've ever seen a clip where they glitch out off the screen and don't come back, but that is like Omega unlucky to have happened. Thankfully, they came back after they went off the screen. They didn't get stuck there.
The HUD is just a porous membrane.
Yeah, it's just like the US-Mexico border. Am I right?
That's a bit too far. Anyways, so I'm thinking it's more like basically gas can pass through it because there's like little tiny microscopic holes in it.
Yeah, that checks out. Although, for being gas, they sure do make a bomb when they hit it.
Yeah, but that's shockwave. That's a shockwave.
The gaseous bomb. Anyway, he made it to the final pattern. Let's see if he can nail this one. That was a great Fairy Overdrive. I loved that. Very, very nice showcase. If only this endgame could be stitched onto a better run, we would be cooking, but not every day. Maybe next year. There's always next year in TWC. And gyou already hasn't he played in TWC 5 or 4 times before? I think he's been in every TWC Great Fairy Force match that we have in history. Am I wrong?
I think he may have. I don't remember who played in 2020, but I think he has been in GFW almost every year at least. Like, was he there even in 2020?
Now you're asking the difficult questions. I feel like I've always seen gyou here, but yep, he's got the pattern. He didn't soft lock. He got the side fairies for the frozen items. He got the main fairy for the frozen items. Nice clean ending to the run. Yep. Unfortunately, we are kind of missing 5 lives, so that's minus 20 million off the score. Could have been 106 million if we just died 5 times less, basically.
Yep.
And then we've got some Gaku and Idol Master here for our overlay.
Yeah.
You know, coming in the exhibition matches, Gaku and Idol Master exhibition match. Look forward to it.
We'll consider it.
And it's even mimicking the final pattern of the 3 fairies with the Gaku and Idol Master characters. We got Lilia staying in for Cerno right here. Unfortunately, she's not charged to 9 ice power. So she's got a bit more IQ than Cerno. But yeah, it's good that we at least saw gyou finish a run, even though it was not the run he was looking for, definitely.
Yeah. Like, he took a gamble. Very unfortunately, it didn't pay off for him, but he still gave the category a good showing, I would say.
Yeah, he definitely got to show all his strats on all the patterns, which they were dangerous, and we saw the results of the danger. Sometimes it was glorious, sometimes it was a dumpster fire.
Indeed.
But yeah, this was not the hottest amount of TWC score we've seen in Great Fairy Wars scoring, but it's a great show, and it was lovely to see the hot dodges through the walls from gyou. He never shied away from his preferred strats, no matter how bad it was going. Very Very brave.
Very brave.
If we rank the players by their spirit, gyou would win by 100-fold. He showed no cowardice whatsoever, even when the motivation was below 100%.
Indeed. Very, very well played. He didn't quite get the run, but he showed off the category. Sometimes that is all that matters.
Yeah, this is one of the risks that comes with playing a B route in DWC in Fairy Wars Lunatic. They are the most dangerous, least consistent routes, and we did get to see some of that throughout the game.
Indeed.
And the target for gyou to beat Dagoth's DWC score, I think it was actually possible. His PB was 105.7 or 105.9 from today. If he got to execute all his routes with solid survival, I think a victory could have been very realistic, but the run just never came together today, the max resource run.
Indeed. GFW is just that way sometimes.
This is a nice piece of art. I love this one.
Yeah.
Luna's child is
really
being milked
art.
into a snowman. Yeah, this is actually what scoring looks like on stage 1.
Indeed. Well, the results are in, of course. Second place, gyou playing for Team Cell Phone, 9.69 TWC score with
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. Almost 86 billion. Damn, that would be a damn good score. So someone in chat calculate how much 86 billion would get. 85,900,000 in B1. And in first place we have Dagoth playing for Team Polaroid Camera with 68.646 points. A1 108 million. Very strong run. Actually very well played from both, but of course, in the end, what ultimately mattered was the max motivation clear.
Yep, that's what it came down to basically. Dagoth managed to get the runs through the finish line, even with a couple of mistakes, but the higher survival risk and overall hazardness of B1 really came through in this one.
So, Dagoth is apparently being interviewed by Japan because he is Nihongo horse.
Please can production hook us up to the Japanese audio so we can enjoy the Dagoth ASMR, if possible? Or do we have to go hit the Japanese streams ourselves?
Probably the latter, unfortunately.
Where's the Japanese stream actually at?
Oh, it's on YouTube. You can just go to the website and alright, for those who are also Nihongo horse, there's the Japanese stream.
Well, we found it in the chat. It's right there at TWC_JP. That is the channel on YouTube for this hot Japanese interview with Dagoth Touhou.
And gyou-chan, actually both at the same time.
Ah, amazing. They've also got gyou-chan. They got the big boys out for this.
Hell yeah. Managed to book the interview before we could.
Guess we took too long. We might have been the snowman this time.
Yep. Well, in the meantime, we can still present the upcoming matches. So tomorrow we're gonna start off with double dealing character Lunatic scoring. This category has seen a lot of development recently, and actually, like the first really big wave of development came after the 2021 match when when ISN showed off his route, but more recently it's seen a second pretty big wave of development, and we're gonna have EBM versus KG, two pretty big forces to be reckoned with, essentially. And yeah, it's gonna be great. KG, of course, is a bit of a generalist, but like his strongest game is UFO, where he held the overall world record for a long ass time.
Yeah, KG is an absolute veteran, isn't he? Even I can recognize his name.
Indeed.
One of the oldest players still active, right?
Yeah, yeah. He has really strong scores in all of the games, actually.
I feel like when the spreadsheet makers have to make a slide for his player profile, they're not gonna have all the space to put everything he's done in his career.
Yeah. Slide makers, good luck. So he also has a bunch of LNNs, which is not too well known, but yeah, he's basically the OG scoring creature. EBM has also been around for a while. For the longest time, he was actually he has specialized in both DDC and in Moth. He has Moth world record, and he's been grinding DDC lately. All right. After that, we have 10 Desires scoring. This is a bit of a scoring weekend, which I'm very happy about. So we have the legendary Leo playing for Team Aya, and I'm pretty sure he has world record sweep. At least he claims to have it.
That cemetery in the background is a little bit choppy, isn't it? It's sometimes 10 Desires make it through to the stream. The desire for the chop.
Yeah, that can happen sometimes. But yeah, Leo is basically TD specialist, and he's pretty far ahead of everyone else. Playing for Team Hatase, we have Barbara, who held Marissa world record for a long ass time. He specializes at Marissa, while Leo is just strong with everyone. And finally, for Team Momiji, we have Kuge, who I believe is a Yomu player primarily, and he's also had a really strong score in TD for as long as I've known him. And yeah, his alt name is Nuol, which is a Pokemon, a Japanese Pokemon name. What's the English name? Yeah, which one is it? It's like
You're asking the hard questions today, aren't you?
Like, I know what it looks like, but I forgot its English name.
What's its color?
It's blue.
There's only 100 blue Pokemon to choose from.
Well, there you go. Just pick a random one of those and you have a 1% probability of being correct.
Fair enough.
Alright, well, of course...
We have sign-ups.
Yeah, you can sign up and be a crew member. You can help us out, especially in the American regions. I mean, all help is appreciated, but the like North and South America, those time zones are a particular blind spot for us. So if you are watching this stream right now and you and you are interested in contributing to TWC, you don't need any prior experience. You know, you can commentate, you can, I don't know, do graphics, you can just do whatever we find useful, and yeah, it's if you're interested in contributing, you can just sign up by either going to that URL over there or signing the QR code.
George just let us know in the chat that the cruise signups are closing this very week, so we gotta remove this slide from this spreadsheet for the next week, because it's not gonna be open anymore. This is the last chance you're going to have today and tomorrow.
Ever.
Perhaps to sign up for this.
The last chance ever. No.
Next time you're gonna have to wait for next year.
Yeah. Or, I mean, we might still, like, pretty quickly throw something together when, like, shortly after TWC is over so that you can get in that way. That's something we'll have to discuss.
We also have a Blue Sky account called touhouworldcup.com. Yeah. Incidentally, the same URL as our website, but as a username instead.
Yeah, Blue Sky works like that. It's pretty cool. And of course, the English restream is brought to you by Touhou Replay Showcase. Streaming on weekends. 9 PM on Saturday, 4 PM on Sunday. Central European summertime, or, well, whatever time zone Paris is currently in. That's how it works.
Yep, or you can just go to the site where it converts it to your own time zone.
That is indeed something you can do. It seems as though Japan is still interviewing Dagoth.
Looks like the background has fixed itself. The 10 desires are no longer clogging the tubes. It's looking smooth. It's looking pretty. George is letting us know that... Oh. He seems unsure of whether Dagoth can be interviewed or not interviewed. Dagoth is in the Twilight Zone right now. Can he escape the Japanese jail? Or is he going drinking after work?
Well, I guess...
It looks like production has gotten a hold of Dagoth. They yoinked him away from the Japanese stream. He might be able to come over. Any minute now. Any minute now. Stay tuned.
Any second.
You're just letting us know it's gonna be any minute now.
Hi.
Yo, Dagoth.
Here he is.
Hello. Sorry for the wait.
You made it.
Yeah, I did it with it.
How was Gyou doing in the interview? What did you say? We were not watching Japanese, so we need you to tell us what hot stuff Gyou leaked.
Well, I just say I was busy, so I picked A1 again like 3 years ago, but I still got a score that was a bit half-fast, I would say, the run. I mean, I'm sure you saw, but there were many funny things that happened. But I still somehow made it, despite all the mistakes, with 1000% at the end. And yeah, the score was still decent, I guess. It wasn't as good as 3 years ago, unfortunately. Because yeah, I didn't practice enough.
Yeah, it did look a little bit rusty, especially on star second non-spell. That seemed like a repetitive problem here.
Even though I practiced it a decent amount, but that one is just really hard, I find.
Yeah, it's incredibly tough. It was also tough for George, incidentally.
But yeah, I don't know what I will do next. Maybe if I continue playing A1, or maybe I switch to extra, because I would like to do extra next year for TWC.
What about POFV? Are you gonna play any POFV in the future?
Not on TWC.
POFV is a shit game.
It's good, but
Jesus.
Will you confirm or deny?
Dude, you're actually gonna start a war between Finland and Sweden if you say that.
But there are already people playing PvP, so I'm fine letting them do the job.
That's cool. They had 3 players for the scoring match, did they not, for that game already?
Yeah, they do.
Amazing. Maybe some year we will have 3 players for Great Fairy Wars. Imagine that.
I wish. But didn't we have... Oh no, because I wasn't here, yeah. When the Serazes and Gyou did H2 scoring.
By the way, I'm gonna ask this question just because I embarrassed myself earlier. What's the English name for the Pokemon Nuol?
What?
Kugei's alt name.
I don't know what is it in English. I don't know English Pokemon names.
Gee.
Can you describe what kind of Pokemon it is? Does it resemble a certain animal?
I think it's a Axolotl, like evolution. Like it's a water
Is it a
and
Quagsire?
ground type. Yeah, I think it's Quagsire.
Is it a Wooper or a Quagsire?
And yeah, it's all blue with a very simple face, just 2 dots for eyes and a smile, and
Yeah,
and a big
that's
tail.
just like Quagsire or Wooper. That might be the case. They are certainly a great Pokemon.
Oh no, that's not Mudkip. I know it's not Mudkip, but yes.
It's
Yeah,
not
probably
Mudkip.
Quagsire.
Quagsire.
Quagsire is confirmed to be playing for Team Canada. Is that what the wildlife looks over in Canada when you move outside, look at the moose, and they have Quagsire's face on them? Sounds horrifying.
Yeah. But Gyou-chan really gambled today.
He went for the crazy Milks on Sunny's second non-spell every single run. No matter what the motivation situation was like.
I guess we talked about that during his interview.
I mean, he wanted to give it a try. To a route that he hadn't played yet, and he discovered that there's still. He thought there wasn't much to improve on the world record, but he discovered that there's a lot to improve, and it gave him motivation. But yeah, despite practicing a lot, he didn't have time, I guess.
Yeah, he did improve a lot in the last week or 2 on his stream, but missing that those final few inches of consistency, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess A1 is probably more consistent to clear with max motive.
Yeah, that's what we thought, commentating that B1 is just so brutal. Stage 1, brutal. Stage 2, still brutal. Stage 3, oh whoa. The violence continues. Why can't it end? Can we just make peace, not Great Fairy Wall?
Great Fairy Peace.
But there aren't any Ps, any power items in this game, unfortunately.
And that's why we can't have it.
Imagine if there were power items, and power items affected how big you could freeze, so you could die, and now you can only freeze a 90% or something before your power back up. That sounds terrifying.
Jesus.
Let's not think about that.
Yeah, well, do you have any other general comments about the match?
Not really. I guess I got stuck on stage 1 for a little time, but that's about it. I just didn't do any runs before.
Yeah. This was a bit of a stage 1 special for Gyou as well. We were watching a lot of Lilywhite and Dayose today.
Oh yeah, well, it's kind of
they took
expected.
many lives.
It's kind of expected with B-Wood, it seems.
Yeah, but it was rough.
Like you have that, and then you have a sunny mid.
Yeah. On Gyu's very first run, he actually missed that jelly suicide after Dayose on the big jelly fairy. It was rather cursed.
Well, I guess we can afford to miss. I feel like he doesn't. Maybe he resets too much sometimes. Because on my first run, I did. The run I got I didn't reset even though I did many mistakes at the start on stage 1.
Yeah, it
So
looked
maybe
a
she's
little bit
bit
wrong.
too- Yeah, maybe she
But you
should
made
not
it
have
in the
reset so much. Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been at the beginning of the match, gyou was resetting on the first death on Sunny, oftentimes it seemed like, but later he started continuing for a bit longer.
But yeah, I mean, for next year, if some people want to, I mean, do Fairy Wars Lunatic in my stead, you're welcome. Please do so. I'll be doing extra, okay?
Yeah, like I said, I need to reiterate this. If you feel inspired by this match, do feel free to try to pick up GFW. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool
Feel free to
scoring.
try. Feel free to try the normal and easy difficulties as well, or hard, since they are also quite playable and not quite so brutal.
Yeah, that's true. Lunatic is a bit brutal, even if you can die a billion times. It's still a bit depressing when you miss so many times. So yeah, don't hesitate to try normal or hard too.
Well,
The difference between the lower difficulties and the higher ones, it's not really that big in this game for scoring or for survival. You know, the fundamentals of the freeze mechanic, they're all there regardless of the difficulty. The scoring tricks remain somewhat similar. Because they're different, but you know, it's all going to be very, very Fairy Wars-esque.
well, if there isn't anything else to say, then I guess it's time to wrap up this match. And we will see you tomorrow with DDC scoring.
Oh yeah, both matches tomorrow are going to be epic, I think.
Yeah. Like, some of the best players in their craft really competing. Like I said, EBM and KG, that's a pretty stacked match already. And then right after it we have Leo, Barbara, and Kuge. Kuge is kind of unknown in the scene, but he is actually like a sleeper, so to say. He's a sleeper agent.
You'll find no second-rate players at the Touhou World Cup.
Indeed you won't. But indeed, we will see you tomorrow. Be there or else.
Don't be second-rate. Don't be second-rate as a viewer. Show respect to our first-rate players by showing up on time to watch the match. You're dismissed.